And see you there. Hello, it's me.
I was wondering how much you love Halloween.
I should probably turn the lights up, but I just really like this mood lighting, okay? Okay. Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, I'm Sierra Snow. Welcome. I hope you're doing okay out there, out in the real world. We have some new subscribers. Let's say hello. I hope you're excited for spooky season just as much as I am. I got my little earrings on, I got me a little cute shirt, got my background set up. I was trying to do a little bit better than I did last year. Not that I have a whole lot now to really work with. I think it looks pretty good, right? I think it's pretty cute. Yeah. Anyways, so in the spirit of spooky season and not really having much of a direction in life or on this channel, I thought today we would read some spooky stories, short stories. I thought we would read some spooky short stories from the internet. Hi, sweetie. Is anything on fire? No? Okay. So before we get all the way in to the short stories today, I just want to go ahead and throw it out there. If you have a story of your own that you are willing to share with me and willing for me to share on the internet, I would love to hear them. I love people's spooky stories, especially first-hand accounts. They're my absolute favorite. They're so intriguing. They're so scary. I love it, love it, love it. So if you reach out to me on any platform, I'll read it. And if you're not being weird, I'll respond. So let's get into some spooky short stories. So the first story is called They Got the Definition Wrong. It has been said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It has been said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I understand the sentiment behind this saying, but it's wrong. I entered the building on a bet. I was strapped for cash and didn't buy into the legends of the hotel to begin with. So $50 was more than enough to get me to do it. It was simple. Just reach the top floor, the 45th floor, and shine my flashlight through the window. The hotel was old and broken, including the elevator. So that meant hiking the stairs. So up the stairs I went, reaching each platform. I noticed the old brass plaques displaying the floor numbers. 15, 16, 17, 18. I felt a little tired as I creeped higher, but so far, no ghosts, no cannibals, no demons. Piece of cake. I can't tell you how happy I was to reach the last stretch of numbers. I joyfully counted them aloud at each platform. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 44. I stopped and looked back down the stairs. I must have miscounted. So I continued up. 44. One more flight. 44. And then down 10 flights. 44. 15 flights. 44. And so it's been for as long as I can remember. So really, insanity isn't doing something repeatedly and expecting different results. It's knowing that the results will never change. That each door leads to the same staircase. To the same number. It's realizing you no longer fall asleep. It's not knowing whether you've been running for days, weeks, or years. It's when the sobbing slowly turns into laughter. So that's the first spooky story. Again, I know that they're pretty short. If you want longer stories, just tell me in the comments, okay? But let's keep it going. The next one is called My Daughter Learned to Count. My daughter woke me up around 11:50 last night. My wife and I picked her up from her friend Sally's birthday party, brought her home, and put her to bed. My wife went into the bedroom while I fell asleep watching the Braves game. "Daddy," she whispered, tugging my shirt sleeve. "Guess how old I'm going to be next month?" "I don't know, Beauty," as I slipped on my glasses. "How old?" She smiled and held up 4 fingers. "It's 7:30 now. My wife and I have been up with her for almost 8 hours. She still refuses to tell us where she got them." Ooh, creepy. Could you imagine your toddler coming home with somebody else's phalange sticks? Or just waving them around? Just, "Look, Ma." No, this is why I don't have kids. So the next one. There's no reason to be afraid. Was that good? Okay. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. Typical. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some mornings, Betsy and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands we would find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried we might get thirsty in the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the house's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair, which we kept against the back wall in the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch that chair forward, across the room towards us. Sometimes she would manage to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse original occupant, a widow. She murdered her 2 children by giving them each a cup of poisonous milk before bed. Then she hanged herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room, with a widow's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was the old wooden chair, placed exactly in the center of the room. Ooh, that one gave me chills. That one was like the perfect. So the next spooky story is The Eyes Are Watching Me. I bought a new house in the small town of Winthrop. The house was cheap, but the most important part was that I needed to get away from the city. A few months ago, I had a run-in with a stalker. Oof. While I managed to get him arrested, I couldn't shake the feeling of eyes just constantly watching me. I felt like there were eyes everywhere. At home, on the street. So I decided to move out to the country, somewhere with less people, just for peace of mind. The house itself was big and somewhat old, but otherwise very welcoming. Now, the agent who did introduce me to the house had been required to mention that a serial killer had lived there in the past, which is why the house was so cheap. However, he and later my next-door neighbor, Sarah, both told me to pay the thought no mind, for other owners had lived in the house since then, and all of them were very happy with it. I loved this house. Its interior furnishings were beautiful and very comfortable. The people of Winthrop were friendly, often bringing over freshly baked pastries and inviting me over for dinner. Get-togethers, they said, were the key to making sure that everyone who lived in Winthrop loved it there. Yet after a week, I stopped loving it. The feeling of someone watching returned, worse than before. I tried to ignore it, but soon I started losing sleep. Giant bags grew under my eyes, and I began yawning almost as much as I was breathing. Sarah was kind enough to let me stay in her house for a few nights. It was during this time I heard the legends of Forrest Carter, the serial killer who had lived in my house. While no one knows the exact kill count, Carter, also known as the Winthrop Peacock, was a man with an extremely severe case of narcissism. Do I know this man? I know this person. Legends say that he couldn't fall asleep if he didn't feel like he was being watched. He was finally arrested for putting up a scarecrow to watch him during the night. Only, it wasn't a scarecrow. Carter had murdered a 17-year-old girl just so her corpse could stare at him. The story gave me shivers. And after I went home, I felt like there were hundreds of pairs of eyes just watching me no matter how I turned. Today, however, was the first day I acted out. I was cooking breakfast when I felt the eyes. Instinctively, out of fear, I threw my kitchen knife, which lodged itself into the wall. As I pulled it out, I found myself staring at a pair of eyes, pickled in formaldehyde. I've been watching the police peel away the drywall of my house for hours now. So far, they've found 142 pairs of eyes in little glass jars. The scariest thing is, each and every one were staring at me. Our next story is, he stood against my window. I'm sorry, I don't know why I had to do that. I love spooky stuff, but I just can't be that person who delivers the spooky news to you and keeps it bone chilling. I'm sorry. I don't know why I looked up, but when I did, I saw him there. He stood against my window. His forehead rested against the glass, and his eyes were still and light, and he smiled a lipstick red, cartoonish grin. And he just stood there, in the window. I couldn't move. I was froze and watched him look past me through the glass. Oh, please no. His smile never moved, but he put his hand up and slid it down the glass, watching me, with matted hair and yellow skin, and his face through the window. I couldn't do anything. I just stayed there, frozen. Feet still in the bushes, I was pruning. Looking into my home, he stood against my window. So was he like pruning, like prune? Or is he like pruning because he was like cold and wet? Interesting. So the next story is, so I lost my phone.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
So last night, a friend rushed me out of the house to catch the opening act at a local bar's music night. After a few drinks, I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. I checked the table where we were sitting at, the bar, the bathrooms, and after no luck, I used my friend's phone to call mine. After 2 rings, someone answered, gave out a low, raspy giggle, and hung up. They didn't answer again. I eventually gave it up as a lost cause and headed home. I found my phone laying on my nightstand, right where I had left it. So the next one is called, What They Don't Tell You About the Dead. I don't want to sound mean, but the dead are pretty clueless. I've always seen them. When I was younger, everyone just thought I was talking to my imaginary friends. After a couple years, when I overheard my parents talking about calling a psychologist, I realized what I was talking to. See, ghosts don't tend to realize they're dead, and they don't look like they do in the movies. They look like us. I'm pretty smart for a 13-year-old, so I started noticing certain patterns to tell them apart from the living. They could be a bit distant from living people, or you'd see them try to talk to people who couldn't even notice them. Some of them could tell I was different, that I noticed them. Like this guy I saw after school yesterday. I'm a big boy now, See, I don't need my parents to pick me up. Home is just a short walk away. He was standing away from the other parents, didn't talk to them, just stared at me. That's how I knew he was one of the ghosts. I went over, told him I knew what he was, and asked how I could help him. I don't remember much after that. I think because of what happened this morning. Downstairs, my parents were crying. I tried talking to them, but they ignored me. They must have died last night somehow. Sometimes the new ghosts wouldn't talk to me. Some police officers and reporters just arrived. They won't talk to me either. Just my parents. It's weird. I've never seen so many ghosts together before. Why won't anyone talk to me? Because you're dead, boo! You're dead! Alright, so that was the creepy short stories I thought were worth reading. So I think that pretty much wraps up this video for today. If you're interested in reading any of the other short spooky stories from that link, I'll leave it down in the description box below. Let me know what you think of this video and what you might want to see for the rest of spooky season or moving forward. But other than that, I think that'll be it for me today. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, don't forget! What was I gonna say? They must have died last night somehow. Oh shit. Reporting spooky stories to you live with no pants! Because it's hot. He stood against my window. 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 I'm sorry, I don't know why I had to do that. His smile never moved, but he put a hand up and slid it down the glass. Ah! My anxiety right now. Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Why am I talking like that? Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Ugh. Do I? Bitch. Oh, I gotta take these pants off. I gotta take them off. I gotta take these pants off. Holy crap.